Good morning, guys, and welcome to the shop. So last time we were together, I was in the process of painting the row bar and the sport cage. So I've got those painted and installed, as well as quite a few other things. But I'm going to run you through a quick review of where I am at this point. And I apologize for it taking so long, but I kind of got ahead of myself. Anyway, when last we were talking about this sport bar, I wanted to get that controller mounted there. So I did. The wires for it is in the tubing of this. So if you took that one joint off right there, there's a hole there. So I could pull that wire through this tubing, and then it routes through here to get to under the dash. I did it with the controller there, as well as two dome lights. There's a dome light there, as well as back there. So I think that turned out pretty well. I want to say those lights are here. Let me see, I may have to turn it. Yeah. So that comes on with the switch to backlight that controller. And I put under dash lights in it. I don't know yet, but this may be one of my regrets, is getting blue lights. Hopefully that won't be a problem, but we'll find out. I'll try not to use it going down the road. But yeah, that's where trying to get this row bar in, which I've done. I've got it completely in, as well as all the carpeting and the seat brackets. That took me quite a while to fit these seat brackets to the body, but I've done that. I've put the holes in through the carpet. The way I did that was with just like a disposable pen type or pencil type soldering iron. Just find where it is with like an awl, and then once you find where the hole is, just stick a hot iron in it and make that hole as big as you need it to be. That part worked out well. These brackets weren't quite as big as they needed to be, or they didn't quite fit in there as well as they needed to, but I was able to manipulate it to get it in there. I got the boots in for the gears. Those wires back there just need to be bundled up, but I'm waiting on some hookup wire for a switch that I've got over there. Once I get that wired in, I'll be able to address the rest of those wires in for the air conditioning. I've swapped out the knobs there to match the knobs on the dash. So all of that's good to go. I got the center console in and mounted. That part didn't take so long. I went ahead and put the harnesses in. Got those strapped and ready, as well as this head unit. So what I've done is SD makes there we go. That's a solid state relay panel. It's a 1 by, I think it's an 80 amp total, but that's 4 outputs. So what I did was I triggered it. That's what's happening here. I'm triggering that with the ignition switch. So when you turn the ignition switch on, it throws power to all 4 of those outputs. So I've got both of my triggers for the relays, for the coolant fans are there, as well as the the MSD, the EFI, and I've got a trigger for this light panel, for the backlighting of that light panel, as well as the radio. This radio has a 2DN head unit that, because I was able to put this air conditioning unit in there, and the air conditioning unit also has a heater built into it, so I was able to remove the old heater unit, which gave me a lot of room behind the dash. So I was able to mount that 2DN behind the dash. I don't know if you'd be able to see that if you look, but it's back up in there. You can see it right there. I've still got some connectors I'm waiting on some hose clamps for that heater hose, as well as I've got to do the hard lines here for this air conditioning to get it, to get that plumbed out. I don't see anything else I've done in here. All the gauges are wired in. Let me move to the other side and I can show you that a little better. Okay, so all of these gauges are wired in now. The needles come on with the lights. The backlighting, which is something I want to change. See how the numbers and everything is black? At night, when the lights are on, that'll be blue. To be tied to the lights instead of the ignition. So I'll be changing that. But this knob here also controls the backlighting. See, it changed it to black there. So the brightness of that backlighting is controlled by this knob up here. And I've gone through and took these apart and put LEDs in here and renamed them. I've renamed these for what I'm going to be using them for. This heater is no longer a knob on a cable actuated controller. This is now a potentiometer that controls a rheostat for the heater valve. I'll show you that once we get under the hood. But I wanted to eliminate as much of that janky pulling to control valves and stuff. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the defroster, because it's so close in proximity to where this is. It's hard to get the cable in there anyway. So I may use a rheostat, a servo there as well. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, that's the dash, pretty well wired out and ready to go. I think I told you last time, this, let's see if I can reach it. This has two USBs. The top USB is for the EFI, and the bottom is so I can put my phone into the stereo system. The stereo system is a Android head unit, and it will do CarPlay, so I'll be able to connect to my phone. So that's pretty cool. It's linked to my phone, so while you're seeing this down here, I haven't seen that before. That's pretty cool. Anyway, and then this is the EFI controller here. I upgraded to I think this is a 5-inch, but it's saying I need to upgrade the version. So I'll have to do that as well. Not quite to that point yet. One last thing I'll show you, or a couple of things I'll show you before we get out of the cabin area. These little brackets here are made by Rock Hard 4x4, the same folks that makes the sports bar and the bumpers. I got several of these, but I used 3. One to mount that sniper head unit on, and then I used 2 for the head unit for the radio system. And then that grab bar over there, because I put the sport bar in, it kind of covered up where the original was over there on that side. So I filled in those holes for the original grab bar and then just relocated up to there. So I think that'll work out pretty well. On this controller for the lights, give me 1 second. I noticed that my phone is switching. When I turn on the head unit, my phone is switching over to this mic for the head unit, and that audio is poor. So let me shut that off and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, so I think I've got that off. So with this controller, see if I can, I've got it set up so that this one is spare. I don't have these 2 stickers on it yet, but those are my front and rear lockers. And then I've got the pods on my bumper are there. And then my windshield pods are there. And then the fog lights on the bumper are there. And then I've got my dome lights and my under dash lighting is there. Not sure what I'm going to put on that other one. I've got an idea, but I'm not sure about it just yet. But yeah, I'm liking how that worked out for me right there. I got the everything's wired. The side marker lights, headlights, the rear side marker lights, and the brakes. And I've used LED on everything except for these front blinkers here. Those replacement sockets are just poorly formed, so it doesn't really make a good connection there. If I can find my old OEMs, I may go back to those because I think they were constructed better. But I'll run you through and let you see how these lights look. So here are the headlamps, and you'll see the dash lights up when those are on. And then front blinker. What I really want to do is, and one of my regrets is the rings on those LED headlamps. I wish they were amber instead of white. And when those wear out, I'll probably go to amber. There's passenger front and back. And then there's the brake lights. They're LED as well. So all that worked out pretty well. Here on the windshield, I replaced this frame. Mine was much like all the others, rusted out. But I was happy with these, the replacement hardware for the wipers, and I'll have to share that with you guys. I'll put it up here on the screen somewhere. But I got a kit for that where someone has gone through and just re-engineered it and used Johnny joints. So I'm very pleased with that and happy to share that because that worked out very well. Whoever did that, I can't recall right this second, but they did an awesome job. Let me walk you to the back of the Jeep. And Back here, I've got both pods installed. I've still got to get the wires through the tubing, and I've got the hole down here at the bottom, but wasn't exactly sure where I wanted that to go into the roll bar at right there, but I'll have to drill that to get it in there. And then I've got the fire extinguisher mounted there with a quick disconnect. And then I've got my tailgate on. Let me run out of room. I've got my tailgate on, as well as I've wired for my my harness to attach trailers and boats. And I've gone ahead and got the tube in for the gas tank as well. Here on the tailgate, something I did, and there's a piece of carpet. All the carpet is in it, other than I've got a piece that goes on this tailgate that I've got to trim down and get it glued up. But what I wanted to show you was this weather seam. That worked out really well, and I put it all the way around, so hopefully as I'm going down dirt roads or whatnot, I won't have to worry with the dust coming in through the cracks in the tailgate. That's snug. That fits really well in there. So I'm happy with that. I don't see anything else back here. I've got all of my speaker wires already ran back here from the head unit. So I'm going to put a speaker box in. They'll probably come about here. I just need enough room to either put my golf clubs or a tackle box to go fishing. But I've got all the wiring done for that. I just gotta, that's not a high priority right this second. But yeah, let me walk to the front. I think the last time it was still in the coating from the hood, well, actually the windshield as well. The fenders and the grill were all in whatever the E-coating is from the manufacturer, so that's all painted now. And although not perfect, it's not bad for me. So I'm happy with that. One thing I did want to show you, I went through and started on aligning the front. I got this kit. I don't know if you can see it right there. But there's one of these on each side, and all you do is put a level on it, level it up, and then the way they made this, it kind of holds your tape measure. I thought that was pretty ingenious what they did there. So once you get it leveled up, go to the other side and do the same thing here, but you pull your tape measures through. And I'll see if I can show you. It's 59 here, and then I've got it towed in about 1/8 of an inch, just a hair less than 1/8 of an inch towed in. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. In addition to that, I went ahead and made sure the steering wheel was straight and put in a new, well, we'll talk about that. Let me raise the hood and I'll show you. Okay, here under the hood, I put this, I had the old one, which was new and nothing wrong with it. But I don't know if you remember, but I had trouble with the pitman arm, the original pitman arm, because I went from manual to power steering. The pitman arm shaft was larger. Well, the input shaft on that is larger as well. It's 13/16, I think is right. Don't hold me to that. So I had to get a new steering linkage. So I've got that in there. The steering wheel straight with the gearbox, which was marked from the manufacturer where center is. So that worked out really well. All of the sheet metal inside the engine bay is all hot rod black, so it's this flat black. So all of that turned out pretty decent. I went ahead and put the well, we'll start right here if you want to. The reservoir is in now. I think I've got it plumbed, but I don't have it wired. These two wires, one is for that reservoir and one is for the brake fail switch in the proportioning valve. And then here in the front, got the horn in and working. Went ahead and put the radiator in, as well as an overflow. On the front of the radiator, I don't know if you can, well, you can probably see it from here. That is the condenser coil for the air conditioning. And then it's plumbing. Let me, it plumbs through here. I've got the compressor. I had to clock the compressor a little bit, and then all of that is I had to make those and get those installed as well. Here is the final bracket I made for this distribution panel. So I went ahead and mounted the this is the controller for the light switch. This is solid state, but it's fused. That worked out really neat there. And then this is a trigger. So this goes back to the MSD relay panel I showed you under the dash. This is disabled as long as the switch is off. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing that they engineered into that. But that worked out really well. Under here, the MSD is in. I've got the starter cable ran, and I've got it an insulator on it. I just noticed that MSD's lit up right there. That's cool. But I've got that starter cable ran, but I've still got the trigger for the solenoid to connect. Right here, let me see if I can show you. This is an electronic or servo flow. So what happens is the coolant comes out of the water pump on this line here, which I still got to connect. Right? It comes into here and flows into the heater coil inside the inside the cabin, flows back out of the heater coil and into the back of the block. Well, the original switch that's sent with the air conditioning unit is this. So all it does is shuts off coolant completely to the cabin, so that when you run your air conditioner, you're not also heating the cabin. So I understand it, but when you turn this off, you're turning off the flow of coolant to the back of your block, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if it does. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. But anyway, this switch here, which is controlled electronically on the dash, and that's what I was showing you earlier, when you turn this on or engage it to disable the heater, it reroutes the coolant up from the water pump to the back of the block. And then when you switch it the other way, it flows through the coil and back out to the back of the block. But I thought that was pretty neat. I've got more hose ordered. I kind of want this to be more in this area here. It's kind of against the battery a little bit here, and I don't like that. So I'm going to extend it just a hair and get it more in that area right there. I know I'm anal. It's okay. But under here, I think that's all I've done. The fenders are undercoated as well. Remember, I had that issue there. I needed to notch it, so I did that. And then all of this is undercoated. and I used those connectors where I could, and then I used GM connectors in other places where I needed more amperage. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. Anything else I can tell you about under here? Everything's wired up. I still haven't done the distributor. I've got some things to do there with the distributor to lock out, so that the EFI will control timing on that. So I've got that to do. A little more wiring to do, maybe 3 wires under here, I think, and this will be done. I don't have any coolant in it yet. I need to do that. I need to power steering fluid. I've still got to plumb the clutch, and I can bleed the brakes. I haven't done that, but that's on the list of things to do. And I think it'll be about ready to start here soon. I think I'm maybe two weeks away from starting it up. We'll see. I'm excited about that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a good update on where I am. I know that you get to going on something and progress is pretty fast, and you don't realize how much you've done, and you haven't recorded what you're doing. And but that's life. It is what it is. I'm doing the best I can and trying to share it as well as I can. So I'm happy with the progress I've made, and hopefully the rest will go as smoothly as everything else has gone. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all, and we'll talk to you next time.